Okay, now we're going to have a look at how to create some variety in your grooves, creating some contrast between your verse and choruses. What we've got in the arrangement here is a 16th note drum groove, this one on the left hand side, which I've created using the 16th note methods which we outlined previously. I've also got a guitar part in to accompany it so that we can see some kind of variety between a verse and a chorus idea. So let's have a quick listen to this first beat. Okay, there's our first beat, and what I've done is I've included a guitar part that goes with that. Let's just have a listen to the two things together. Okay, now the first thing I obviously need to do is I need to copy this region over so that I fill in those remaining 3 bars. So there's a couple of different ways we can do this. First of all, if I just select the region, so I'm just using left mouse click there, go to the edit menu, copy, make sure that the song position line is in the right place to paste in the new region, and then go back here and click paste. I can of course use the key commands that you can see in that menu as well. So I can use Command and C to copy and Command and V to paste. The other technique that I can use, that you can use all over Garageband, both in this project window and also in the edit window down here for copying notes around, which is very handy, is holding down Alt, selecting the region you want, and then dragging to the place that you want to copy that region to. So I'm going to hold down Alt now, click on that region and copy that over. Great, so let's have a listen to that. I should now have 4 bars with the accompanying guitar part. Okay, that's great. Now what I want to do is create some contrast when I reach the chorus. So let's just have a listen to the chorus guitar on its own and hear how that changes. So you can hear we've got this muted guitar part in the verse section, and we've got a much more powerful open chord strumming part in the chorus section. So I need to reflect that in my drum part. Now what I've chosen to do is to create the part that's here starting from bar 5. I've basically just copied over the groove that I've used in the verse here. And if we look down here in the edit window, you should be able to see in the verse part I've got these closed hi-hats on F#1 here. Just a quick reminder, we've got the snares on E1 and kicks on C1 down there with open hi-hats on A#1. But in the chorus I've reduced the number of hi-hat hits that we get, and I've transferred them up onto the open hi-hat, which creates a much more sort of open sound. Have a listen to that change from the verse into the chorus, which I hope then reflects the slightly more open feel of the guitar part as well. So now I obviously need to copy this region over. So what I can do is the same techniques that I used previously, the Command and C, Command V to copy and paste. I can use Alt and drag, but I can also use this looping mode, which is a handy and very quick way to copy over sections. So what happens here is, as I hover the mouse over the top right hand side of the region, the mouse pointer turns into this curly arrow. If I then left mouse click and drag, it will create exact copies of that region up until I let go of the mouse. So let's have a listen to how that works and the change from the verse into the chorus. Great, and you can probably hear there that I did also add a couple of extra kick drum parts. If we have a look at our kick drum part down here in the verse, it's slightly more sparse. I wanted it to be a little bit more intense in the chorus, so I've added a couple of kick drums in here as well. Now let's just zoom in here a little bit on this region so we can see this a little bit more clearly. I'm just going to shut the editor window down for a moment here. Right, now if we look up at the top here, when I get to the chorus, one very typical thing that drummers do is you may well get a drum fill just at the end of this bar here, which would lead into the first beat of the chorus here, and typically you would get an open crash sound at the beginning of this chorus. Now that's great here, but if I was to edit this region here and add a crash at the beginning, if I drag this note up, for example, so you can see on C sharp 2 we get this crash sound. Now the only disadvantage with that method is that it's going to, because I've used loop mode, it's going to copy that across to all the other bars as well. So at the beginning of each cycle I'm going to get a crash, which you might want, but you might also not want. So I'm just going to undo that. We'll go back here, and what we're going to do is we're going to split this region. So I'm going to choose to split from 6 onwards. If I make sure I've got the region selected that I want to split, go to Edit, Split down here, and you can see that Command and T is your shortcut option for that. Then I could go back here, make sure I'm in the right place here. Grab that hi-hat, we're going to change that to a crash, and then the remaining regions are going to stay as open hi-hats. Okay, which is a bit more what I'm after. Now then, if I so choose to, I could join these back together, making a whole 4-bar section. So I'll select both of those regions. What I did there was the first one was already selected, and I held down Shift to then select the second region. You can also just drag around the regions that you want to join. Then I'll click on the Edit menu, scroll down to Join. Shortcut for that, Command and J. So now I've got a whole chorus section. Now the other thing I might want to do is actually name this so it's a bit clearer to me what goes with what section. So if I've got the edit window open down here, I can just double click in this area here, and I'm going to call that chorus drum groove, if I can remember how to spell. Fantastic. There we are. So I've now created 2 different grooves. We've got a verse section, we've got a chorus section, a little bit of variety, and we've also managed to create a bit of variety within that whole chorus section. So we've got the crash at the beginning, then going on to the open hi-hats. Have fun, guys.